C6 fam, thanks for tuning into our channel. Thanks for watching this video. We always subscribe. Yeah, on the video there should be a C6 on the bottom right corner that you can click on and subscribe.
Yes.
I believe you have to have a Google account to subscribe.
So just set up a quick Google if you don't.
Yeah, and subscribe. But again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this video. And we're going to continue with the second part of Who's in Your Huddle.
And so we were just kind of talking about this and, you know, how important it is who you spend time with and how that affects your mindset, how that affects whether you're positive, you're negative, so many aspects of your life. And one thing I've taught for years is you're going to have different levels, say, of huddles. And one, you're going to have your close-knit, intimate huddle. And those are going to be those friends that we were really speaking on part one, that are your huddle. They're your go-to people. They are the ones that are very, very few and far between. And those are just your loyal, true friends, you know. And here's the thing, just because someone's been in your life for a long time doesn't qualify them to be in that close huddle. And, you know, I think sometimes we get confused because we've had really long-term friendships, and so we think they automatically go in that huddle. And there are times I kind of think of it as a huddle, another huddle, another huddle. Sometimes someone gets removed from that inner huddle and put into the outer huddle, and they might at some point come back to the inner huddle. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're in the outer huddle and then they go to the extended huddle. And what those huddles really look like is that first one are your close-knit go-to people, the people you want in your space, the people you allow in your home, the people you want around your children, and the people that really speak life into you. And then you've got that second huddle that are your colleagues, and they are people that you enjoy, you are around, but they're part of your huddle that you still have to trust. You still have that relationship with them, but you're not telling every little thing to, and you're not sharing so many intimate parts of your life with those people. But they may still be in that huddle. Sometimes that's even family members can be in that outer huddle. Who else would you think are in that huddle? Sometimes it can be people you work with. It can be people you are friends with, people that maybe you celebrate things with but don't see all the time.
Well, and it's just, I think it might just people that maybe you just met. And you like got an instant connection with, but they're still in that outer.
You want to keep them in that outer huddle, especially
if
you haven't known them for a long period of time. That was one of my biggest mistakes. I think learning through life is putting people in my inner huddle too quickly before I knew them better, and then I was allowing them to speak into my spirit, into my life, and it wasn't always good things. And they ended up out of any huddle real quick because I let them in, and they might have could have stayed in that third huddle. Some of those people. Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, and I think that I'm like that as well. Is for the most part, if I get to know you, I like you, you're in my inner huddle. Like you're.
Well, we're people, and we just like people, so we like to be around them, and we've had to learn.
And I feel like I'm a good friend, and I'm loyal to my friends, and I just put people right there, right next to me, because I feel like anybody that I choose to be my friend, they'll go into battle with me just like I would with them, and that's not necessarily.
So you've got to learn this the hard way too.
Yes, that's not necessarily the case.
So you want to be intentional with, not that you're not friendly to everyone, not that you're not around everyone, but you're intentional of who's in that inner circle huddle. Then that next group are people maybe that you are getting to know, are people that maybe you do want at some point to let them in that inner huddle. But you've got to give it time. You know, our pastors have always said you need a 5-year rule. And you've gone through the good, the bad, the ugly. You've gone through ups and downs. If they're still in that outer huddle, you might let them into the inner huddle once you've known them for a long period of time. But I do think one of the biggest mistakes we both have made is letting people into our inner huddle that don't deserve to be in the inner huddle. And so you've got to be really, really cautious and careful with that. And then you've got this third huddle. So kind of picture your inner huddle. Then you've got your next huddle. Then you've got this third huddle that are your people that are more acquaintances, but you still enjoy them if you see them, or you may not see them often at all. Maybe you only see them once a year, or at church, or, you know, they're just, or even at school functions with your kids, but they're just that outer huddle of people. And sometimes those people, as you get to know them, can get moved to that inner circle and then to the inner circle. But you've got to have time. You've got to have weathered storms, and really, really be cautious and know what people's core values are. Know if their life lines up with what you are wanting in your life, and know which huddle you want people in. And then don't be afraid that if somebody's life values are not lining up with yours, when people are not having integrity or are not having our same value system for life. And what I mean by that, it's not that we don't accept all kinds of people, but it's more of an integrity issue, a loyalty issue, you know, believe in the best in you, even when the worst has been displayed, because I know I want to be the kind of friend that I want to have. A lot of times people aren't that kind of friend, so don't be afraid to move people from one huddle to the next. And sometimes they need to get moved, and it's okay to do that. You've got to protect your space. One thing we are so good about is protecting our family and protecting our relationship, number one. So if it's not good for us, they're not in the huddle, period. If it's not good for our kids and our family, they're definitely not in the huddle.
Well, and as Kimberly was saying that, and I want you, as you're watching this, I want you to, visualize what a huddle looks like. It's a circle. And as I was thinking about this, is, back in the day when people had wagons and stuff, and they felt that there was danger, they would circle the wagons. And they would get in a circle to protect from outside enemies trying to kill them, take over. And, as I think about that, I mean, there was probably people that were in the circle that weren't your inner circle, that weren't close, but they were all trying to achieve, go the same destination, going the same place, but they weren't your inner circle, but they were part of your circle. They were part of your circling the wagons. And so I just want you to kind of visualize, because we're talking about huddle, 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 and I just think it's really awesome that when we get into sports, and when you get into a huddle, you're in a circle, and so because what that says is that we're all together, we're trying to get to
we're unified.
We're unified. We're trying to get to the same destination. And then I think about, okay, a wedding band. It's a circle, and so.
I think of Chuck and Larry. I don't ever see that.
It's a circle. It's not a square. It's not a triangle. It's a circle.
But that's true, and it really does matter who's around you, and
right.
The scripture
and your inner circle will be like circling the wagons. It will be the people that will protect you.
And be unified with you. And this is what I was going to say. Yeah. This is where my mind went as you were talking. The scripture out of the Word of God says, where there is unity, there will be a blessing. And so I don't know what scripture it is, but I do know it says that. Y'all can look at that. But where there is unity, there will be a blessing. And so I do feel like it's one reason that we've had favor on our life. We've had blessing on our marriage, on our life, I feel like we have had a hedge of protection around us, even in this category. And I'm so grateful for every removal from our huddle. I'm so grateful for every addition to our huddle. I'm so grateful for that we've been unified in that. And I know that that has put a blessing on our life. I believe that. I believe what the word says. And so, you know, you've got to get unified, and you've got to be unified with your partner. You've got to be unified with your family. If you want a family, like our family is our huddle. And I can tell you, you're never not parenting. I feel like, good gracious, Lord Almighty. I'm correcting kids all the time. But you know what? Where there's no, this is what we've been taught by our pastor, where there's no correction, there's no direction. And I don't care if you're 5 or you're 25. If you're in our home and you're our child, we're still going to be giving you that direction and that correction. And I would urge you to do the same thing where your own family is concerned, is don't be afraid to guide. And when there's love, 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 your kids know where that place of correction is coming from, so they're able to receive it. And I know we do a lot of life and spend a lot of time with our grown kids.
You're talking about the kids, you know. It's like we send our grown kids out into the world.
Yeah.
And I guess as parents, you want your grown kids to want to be still a part of your huddle, and that might not be true.
Some are.
And that might not happen.
Maybe their values don't line up with your values once they're grown.
You know, when they leave the house and they go make their own decisions, and you know, they form their own values that don't line up, and they, you know, and that's a sad thing. And I know it happens.
But there's power in prayer. I would say,
praying
mamas shall pray on back, because God says that when you raise your children up in the ways of the Lord, they won't depart from it. And, you know, I can remember, not that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when we left Walker at college, and that was the weirdest feeling I think I've ever had, was leaving this kid that we've been around every minute of his life, helped him make every choice for his life for so long, and then leaving him 8 hours away in this strange place, strange state where he knew no one. I bawled for 8 solid hours. Walker called me the next day and said, "Mama, I didn't die. I'm only at college." It was a morning time, but then just praying over him, God, please let what Sha and I have done matter. Let him make good choices. Let him, my biggest prayer, y'all, was let him choose the right huddle. Because I know your friends can make you or break you. And you show me your friends and I will show you your future. And that was my biggest fear, is, oh, have I taught him that matters? And I know that's something we've always talked so much about. And I have been so proud, like it makes me want to cry. I've been so proud of the choices he's made and the type of people that he chose to align his life with. And that they didn't have the most money.
But here's the deal, is that he made a lot of wrong choices.
He did.
He made wrong choices, but the right choice that he made is what we're talking about today.
That's right.
He chose the right people to surround himself.
Good people.
He chose the people that were like-minded like him, that had views like him, that valued.
Not just views.
I'm saying views of like respect and honor.
Yes.
And I'm talking about how they viewed things, and he really, you know,
that family was important, that their school was important, that making good grades was, all of those things lined up, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And if anything of his college experience is that he did that he chose an unbelievable huddle to go through that part of life with.
And it made a huge difference in his success. And I'm so grateful.
Absolutely.
But that was my prayer. I mean, you know, as I sat right in that living room, I just kept saying, God, please protect my son. Please be in his brain, everything we've taught him. And so it matters. And this subject matters. And teaching your children this matters. And I do want, because I know you said views, and I don't want people to misunderstand.
And as you're saying this, but I think this too, because as a guy, female, whatever, and let's say you're a more reserved. I just see this happen all the time. Is, you know, you're a reserved person, and you didn't have a lot.
Guidance.
Well, no, you just, yeah, you didn't have guidance about choosing friends, or maybe you were just a good kid in high school, and then you go to college and you meet this fun person, and they're over the top and exciting, and then
This happened to me.
and this is the choice. That's the person
Yeah.
you chose to be in your huddle, and then that it just makes you make bad decisions. So I just see this a lot. Is you and this is where you have to be careful. Is you choose people that are different than you. You know what I'm saying? Where that they're different and that excites you, but you have to be cautious of.
Different's not bad.
I'm not saying different's bad. I'm just saying you have to.
Don't y'all like that this is real
You have to.
as we talk through this?
I mean, you have to be your own person and make your own choices. Don't let your new huddle influence you, is what I'm trying to say.
But you do have to be mindful of what that huddle stands for, whatever it is. And one thing I've seen, even in adults, I've seen people get in their middle age and get in the wrong huddle. And I've seen this with women because I'm around a lot of women. And all of a sudden, their husband's not exciting them anymore, whatever it is. I mean, I've just watched this. And then they start getting friends with these other women that they're talking about whatever their issues are. Maybe they've been married a long time at this point. I mean, because I've watched this. And then before long, they're meeting for happy hour. And then before long, they're talking to guys. Before long, this one's divorced, that one's divorced. And they weren't bad people. They just got in the wrong huddles. People that weren't championing their relationship. I mean, my gosh, I've seen this happen over and over and over again. And just know that your company really does matter, and you've got to be so cautious with that.
And it's ultimately up to you.
That's right.
Who you allow to
That's right.
speak into your life.
Yes.
It's up to you. They don't make you do anything.
No.
So it's your choice who you choose to be around.
You can have a blessing or a curse on your life. It's really up to you on what you choose. But choosing that right inner huddle is going to be so important. Even that second huddle is just equally as important, because anybody you're spending any kind of time with, and even those people in those outer huddle you're going to be spending time with, you are going to, they're going to influence you, whether you know it or not. You are influenced by it. I've even seen people say, oh, well, I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to help them be positive. And they end up going off the cliff with these other people because they were negative or whatever the situation was. And even some of the best people, I mean, it just matters who you have in that huddle. And it definitely matters in your marriage. It matters in your business. It matters as you're raising kids. It matters in every area.
Well, I think this is an important thing to always have, is to have, you're going to have that inner circle. You're going to have that huddle, that inside huddle, that there's a person in there that can tell you, hey, that friend is aiding in your bad choices.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. You have to have,
yes.
And you have to allow people that really have your best interest in heart
Absolutely.
to speak into your life.
Absolutely.
And say, hey, you're making bad choices. You need to reevaluate your friendship with this person.
And I think when you have the right inner huddle, you do allow them to do that, and you allow them to speak into your life without getting offended, and without ruining a friendship because they were trying to help you. Because I've seen that as well. So y'all just really contemplate your 3 huddles. That's really what we want you to do today. We're going to continue on with this and next week, but really contemplate.
Are we going to continue on? I'm thinking we're giving you too much.
You don't want to give them more.
We're giving you too much about this huddle thing.
Okay. So
you're gonna have to buy the book.
Okay.
When it comes out.
Which I don't want to tell you anymore, because there's more in our book, because this is a big subject in our book. But go ahead and evaluate those 3 circles. Evaluate that. Yeah, we can't give you all the content for our book. You're not going to buy it. But contemplate those 3 circles. Who you've got in them. Are they good? Are they bad? And really start thinking who needs to move maybe out of an inner into an outer, into those different huddles. And you're not calling them saying, I'm moving you out of the huddle. You're just conscientious about where you spend your time. And that's what we are. We're very intentional. We can think somebody's in that circle. We've even been on trips with people that we put not in the inner but the outer circle and been like, oh, we got to move them back to the outer circle. I mean, years ago we've had that, and we've just had a lot of different things in life. It's not that we don't love them, we don't like them. It's just we've had to move people into different circles based on different times where we were, where they were, and that's just been something that's been important. And I know it's been a lot of our success.
Absolutely. That's for sure. Just knowing who's for you. And,
that's right.
And knowing
who's for us, for sure.
And again, it comes back to, communicating, talking, getting to know people. And I was thinking about this too, you might be a part of someone's inner huddle.
Yeah.
And you have no idea that you're a part of their inner huddle.
That's right. And that's cool.
All of a sudden, you make them mad. And you're like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. So, I think it's just be the kind of friend that you would want, and then don't have these unrealistic expectations on the other end, and you're going to have great relationships. Because I feel like I'm a friend I would want to have. I feel like I'm very respectful and kind and go over and above and beyond for my friends, and I don't expect that they go over, above, and beyond for me. Now, I expect them to be respectful of me and kind, but they don't have to do life how I do life to stay in that circle. But I think sometimes it's the gap between where you are and what you're expecting is where there's a lot of broken relationships and broken friendships. And so just keep those expectations with friendships a lot lower. Because
and I'm just, as I'm listening to you, I think a friend, when you have a good friend, I don't really think should be hardly any expectations.
Not from a friend.
It's
not what you are bringing to me. It's what am I bringing to you?
I guess an expectation would be, I want you to be loyal to me. I'll be loyal to you. I want you to respect me. I'm going to respect you. I guess that's expectations. Right. That's what I expect of a friend, but that's just what I see a value of a friend. If you're not going to do those things, you're not really my friend. You're
not in the huddle.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you don't.
I don't expect gifts. I don't expect, do this, do that. I don't.
Doing things.
No.
You shouldn't.
I don't have an expectation.
It'd be like if we, I feel like I have a lot of friends. If we decide we're going to pack up all this stuff and move somewhere, I have no expectation of my friends that they're going to come help us move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas there are some friends that would expect, hey, I'm moving, come help me. And if something, but here's the deal, and if I didn't, they would be mad. That's an expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But if they needed help and asked for it, we would help them.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is
some people expect it.
They expect it because we're friends.
Right.
And I just don't think that's a doing. Should be an expectation of a friend.
No, I agree.
I know we're getting off the...
It's just, I think be the kind of friend that you would want. And then don't worry about if your friends are bringing that same level.
Yeah.
And because if you are, you're going to have a lot of disillusionment. What's the word? Disillusion.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of disillusion in your life if you've got these unbelievable expectations. Because Sha had to really help me with this. I was expecting too much from friends. when you and I were first together, because I thought, I bring this, these people don't really like me because they're not bringing it. And so I think that's something I had to fix. It's just, you know what? That's who I am. It's not, everybody else is not going to do for me like I do for them. And that is okay.
Well,
I don't need to expect that. And you told me that, Kimberly, stop expecting people to be you.
Right, because they're not you.
They're not
you are you.
He's like, this is what makes you fancy. This is what makes you unique. They're not going to go do all this.
You didn't want to be friends with yourself.
Right.
You'd be alone.
That's right.
You want to be people that are different than that are not the same.
Yes.
You know?
And I think too, people with different views do give you a different perspective. We're friends with every kind of view of person.
I didn't mean how I'm talking, you can have political views and
right.
religious views.
So don't misunderstand.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about whether, you think worldly views, if we're different in that, but I would still want people that view family the same, that they respect and honor their family, they respect and honor their friends.
The Lord.
And they're trustworthy and loyal. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what we want in our circle.
That the views about that, not necessarily worldly views.
Right. So just making sure everybody knows out there. If we all just stick with people that have our exact same thoughts, one of you is not necessary. That's what my grandmother always said. She would say,
I like people that challenge me.
Exactly. That if you think exactly the same as everybody around you, one of you doesn't need to be there. And so I think that's so great. This was a great topic. We will leave the rest for our book. And subscribe to our channel. Thank y'all for tuning in today.
Make sure to comment, and ask questions.
Yeah, tell us your views on Your Huddle. We would love to hear it.
That's right. And then also,
as we're editing our book, we might.
That's right. And also, don't forget Sunday's vlog. It's going to be awesome this week.
Oh my gosh, I have so many guests from New York City.
Forget about it.
It's gonna be
Kimberly has some great videos from New York. We went to another birthday party.
Shocking. And today is Sha's sister's birthday. Let's say happy birthday to Kippy. We love you.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to tell others about our channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
If you want my green bean recipe, we got to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's when I'm going to give it. I filmed it.
And find out why Astro is named Astro.
That's right. Yeah. Got two things. Help us get to, we're almost there. Help us get to 1,000.
Y'all have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget about Sunday's vlog.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Love you, C6 fam.